Okay, so today we're going to start our second practice. Today is going to be focused on gratitude, and really this week we're going to be talking about cultivating a heart of gratitude. And I think the important question for today is really why is this something we're introducing as a practice rather than just a response. And I think honestly, it's a grateful heart is something that does need to be cultivated intentionally. It's mostly a learned response that takes deliberate thought and reflection. And so just listen to Paul in Colossians 3 as he encourages us here towards gratitude. He says, "And be thankful. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, teaching and admonishing one another in all wisdom, singing psalms and hymns and spiritual songs with thankfulness in your hearts to God. And whatever you do in word or in deed, do everything in the name of Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him." And so as you see here, Paul says 3 times encouraging us to be thankful in just 3 short verses. And it's as if he's saying to us that this is something that will take some effort. I even think back to in Luke 17, the stories of the 10 lepers, where only one returns to actually give thanks to Jesus. It's just something that doesn't always seem like a natural response, even though sometimes it can be in times of desperation and times of real distress where the distress is finally relieved, as in the case of the lepers. But you see even there, only one returned to give thanks. And so the reason that gratitude is one of our spiritual practices for connecting with Jesus is because it's not likely something we're going to develop accidentally. That's the first reason. The second reason is that practicing gratefulness it leads to a heart of true worship. So gratefulness, it has the incredible power of kind of allowing us to transcend our shallow enjoyment of just the gifts into a far deeper enjoyment of the giver of that gift. And so that's at the heart of what gratitude is and what it accomplishes. It takes the often overlooked and disregarded, maybe even the mundane things of life, and it turns those into meaningful acts of worship. I think about just a couple days ago, I had some delicious barbecue ribs that I made in my Ninja air fryer, which I'm also thankful for. But it was they were enjoyable in themselves, certainly, but just in intentionally contemplating a heart of gratefulness, I was able to think about our Creator, who decided that He would make food taste good. What a wonderful, what a great gift that our God made us taste buds that can enjoy food like that. And so it takes maybe just something that would be mundane and allows us to be grateful, not just for the gift, but for the giver. So the point of this week, it's going to be to encourage you to begin a deliberate practice of gratitude, of making gratitude a part of your day, rather than just kind of expecting it to happen naturally. As a natural habit, it's more likely that our attention is often caught up by that which we lack. Whether it's things like wealth, power, status, value, comfort, security, romance, whatever it is that we are feeling like we are lacking in that moment, that tends to command our attention. But as a spiritual practice, we can train ourselves to notice and delight in all the things all around us that the Lord has already blessed us with. So that's going to be at the heart of our practice for this week. And just kind of sum up this part, the why behind it. Simply put, practicing gratitude is choosing to live out of Christ's sufficiency rather than our own lack. So that's the key for this week, choosing to live out of Christ's sufficiency rather than our own lack. So here are kind of 3 options to get us started this week. 3 things that you can consider working into your routines and rhythm. And the first one would just be adding it to your normal practice of quiet time. Again, we're not trying to heap on a ton of new things for you to do to add to your schedule. Many of you are already continue to be very busy during this time. And so you could add it as just a regular part of your routine. And so either spending some time at the beginning or end of your quiet time, of your time with the Lord, just thanking him for simply for his presence or whatever he does reveal to you during that time. Just the fact that he communicates, that he hears our prayers, and he communicates through his word. Those are just things that are worthy of praising him for and being grateful for. So being deliberate to do that and making that a part of your quiet time practice. One thing that I've been trying and really trying to work into my practice more is this is one that is actually relatively new to me as a deliberate practice, is at the end of the day, just kind of taking some time to reflect on my day, reflect on the things that I'm grateful for. And as I even say that, I recognize that that a lot of times our days can be difficult. Trust me, that has certainly been the case for me. For a lot of my days, they've been challenging in COVID over the last few weeks. And so I want to encourage you, if that's you, if you feel like you're worn out at the end of the day, finding difficulty, finding things to be grateful for, I would even encourage you to just take some time to just deal with the heartaches before God. Just place them all in prayer before him. Be honest about how you felt about your day and how difficult it was, and then deliberately choose to just find some things that you are thankful for in the midst of all that chaos, in the midst of the heartache, the difficulties of that day. Just choose to focus on a few things that you are thankful for, but kind of deliberately clear out the weeds of your difficult day, and then go to God, just recognizing that in the pain, in the pain of our day, as well as in the blessings, God is worthy to be praised. And then just kind of a final idea and a thought, and this is one that I want to practice moving forward. So I was just kind of reflecting on this and thinking about ways that I can incorporate this into my practice, and just make it a habit that when you have moments of downtime, to fill that time with intentionally focusing on things that you can be grateful for. And so if you find yourself being bored before you maybe turn to some of the more distracting or escapist behaviors, like we've been talking about, social media, watching TV, or whatever it is, video games, just mindlessly going through your phone, before you turn to those distracting behaviors, just take a moment to think of one thing that you're grateful for. And in doing so, I think it can be a great opportunity for all of us to train ourselves to respond to boredom, almost like a Pavlovian response, respond to boredom with gratitude towards God. And so those are just some ways that you can get started this week. You'll be hearing from some more of our young adults as we just share some different ways that we've been able to incorporate gratitude into our daily rhythms and routines. So I hope this is helpful for you, and hope to see you guys soon.